and we'll just get started. So hi, everybody. It's so exciting to see everybody. We haven't gotten together since we've all been at Summit, and I hope you guys all saw our pictures. It was so much fun. And if you haven't signed up for next year, sign up. You can refund it and transfer it or whatever by the end of the year. But do it now and get your mind set on it and get your goals set on it. And if you're one of my PS coaches and we haven't gotten on the phone yet, make sure you sign up for one of those times. But I do have a couple announcements just from the thing. Can you guys see this? Hadley, can you see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, let me blow it up here.
Can you hear me, Brooke?
Some of the stuff that's going on that came out of Summit. So here was our, experience, just so that you guys kind of have an idea of what it's like. We all stayed together. The picture down here in the middle is our diamond retreat. When we first got there, we all went for massages and brunch, and it was super fun. The picture on the right is Gary Vaynerchuk, I believe it's how you say it. He wrote jab, jab, right hook, and he was awesome. He's this crazy worldwide entrepreneur, and he opened our morning session for us and talked to us. If you don't follow him on Twitter, I highly suggest doing that. He's really, really great to follow, and he is like, no bullshit, here's how it is. The picture down on the right, that's us sitting in one of the sessions, just so that you can see we were getting our learn on as well. And then over on the left, you just see kind of what the stage looked like and the energy there, and it was just so much fun. And everybody that I talked to that went to Summit obviously had a life-changing event. People were recognized for milestones in their business and everything else. So it was really, really fun. And I hope that we can double or triple the size of Goal Diggers there next year, and just take over New Orleans, because Pauline knows New Orleans is the coolest city ever, isn't it?
It is.
It is. So we can have a lot of fun on Bourbon Street. Okay, so they made a ton of announcements, and I was backstage when they did all these, so I'm going to kind of stumble through them. Anybody that was there that has more information, feel free to chime in. So if you're not aware, Country Heat has released. It's live. The challenge pack's on sale along with a whole bunch of other ones. And it's really fun. A great way to promote a new program is by, hold on, let me mute everybody, is by posting videos and showing people you doing the program. And the more you mess up, the better. And the more exciting the video is for other people to watch. So don't feel bad if you're tripping over your feet or whatever. Go on demand and just try out the trial video if you haven't bought the program yet. The 20s, and I have my little notes here, is so Beachbody has decided to take it to the next level, and this is going to be our original reality show, and it's airing on Beachbody on demand, and it's basically following around a bunch of 20-something fitness trainers that want to be Beachbody's new super trainer. And that actually premiered last night. I didn't have a chance to watch it. I don't know if anybody did. But if you want more information on the 20s, that is going to be FAQ 8800. Fixate, up in the top right corner. So that's Autumn and her brother, and they are doing a new cooking show. So all the recipes from Fixate and beyond, they're going to be making on this show, and that's also going to be on demand. So just real quick, you guys all know that new customers get 30 free days of on demand. So this is a really good, and we're going to talk about Yoga Retreat in a second because this is going to be huge. They get 30 free days, and also when they buy a challenge pack, they have 30 free days on there. So make sure that you're telling them what's back there so they can take advantage of all of this stuff that's going on demand now, because now we're into bigger and better stuff. So 3-week yoga retreat down on the left. This is going to be huge, and I really am trying to wrap my head around how to make it really awesome. It is basically a free 3-week program, and it's on demand, so basically everybody can get in there for free. And can anybody hear me? Hadley, can you hear me? Okay, I'm looking in the chats, and it's saying people can't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Okay, so the 3-week yoga retreat it's going to be, 3 weeks exclusively on demand, designed for beginners, which is so cool, because none of our programs are really for beginners. And it's 30 minutes or less, and they're taught by yoga experts, and that's going to launch September 2016. So the FAQ for that is 5035, and I would honestly start trying to present this soon and get people ready to go. But I'm also trying to figure out how to mingle that in with what's down there in the bottom, which is the Beachbody Healthy Bet. So if anybody's done a diet bet yet, the diet bet app, I think this is pretty similar. But basically, Beachbody's thrown in $1 million. So everybody that signs up for this challenge thing, this healthy bet, is going to be entered to win $1 million. And to be part of that pot, they're going to divide up the pot amongst everybody that hits this goal, which is basically 3 workouts a week and 5 shakes a week that you have to log on your Beachbody Challenge app tracker. So it's very simple, and it's a great way to get people involved, and they can win money. Because you know how people get, they do it for 2 weeks and they get lazy and they fall off. Like, people could win some significant amount of money if they just do these things every week for 4 weeks. So my head is spinning and turning, trying to figure out the best way to incorporate both of these things. I'm guessing if people wanted to do yoga, they could do yoga. And if people wanted to, because that would only be 3 weeks, so they'd have to do something else for another week. So just get that simmering. Those all happening in September. I don't have the FAQ for the Beachbody Healthy Bet, but if you look it up in the FAQs, you'll find it. And then Core de Force, this is the new program. It's launching November 1st, and it's 30 days, no equipment. And basically, this is going to be explosive mixed martial arts. And all the programs are 30 to 45 minutes, and Joel and Jericho are the trainers, and they're just the cutest little things. So it's going to be high intensity and exciting and fun. So definitely get excited about that. See who of your clientele might be interested in something along those lines. There you go, Megan Shelton. The Health Bet FAQ is 4477, and it's right there in the picture, so perfect. Core de Force FAQ is 5215 if you want any more information about that. Anybody have any questions on any of these programs or anything? Okay, moving on. So, like I said, Summit 2017 is in New Orleans. It's in 11 months, 3 days, and 14 hours, and we are going to take over. I can promise you, because I'm already seeing from everybody that went to Summit this year, it changes your business 100%. Most people that went this year are, already making huge strides in their business. So make sure you sign up. You can always cancel by December 31st, but they do sell out fast. So I want to make sure that everybody gets a ticket, and you're not all of a sudden trying to scrounge around for a ticket at the last minute, because that makes it much harder and much more expensive. So go to www.coachsummit.com and get your ticket now. Now I sound like a salesperson. Okay, Success Club. So we talked a lot at Summit about coaching, and they really kind of brought it back to basics. For me, at least what I took away was we have to be a product of the product. We have to be doing this ourselves. We can't be asking people or, hoping people are going to do something that we're not already doing and showing that these products work. So Success Club, I've said this from day one, if you want to make a working business, it is non-negotiable. And I know people say, well, who am I going to help? All my friends are Beachbody coaches, blah, 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 blah. Down at the bottom, bingo, bango, 226 million people are obese in this country and need you. So they're everywhere, and that's just in this country. That is not even expanding into other countries outside of the US or Canada. So you just talk to people. Keep talking until you help 3 people a month and hit Success Club. And the reason that Success Club is so important, you guys, is because that is you helping people, three people a month, which means you're coaching, which is what we're here to do. It means that you're expanding your network, which means there's more people in your challenge groups, there's more opportunity for coaches, there's more opportunity for you to help people even more than the physical transformation, but the financial and the whatever they might find in the coaching opportunity. Just a reminder that it is Team Cup this month. If you're on a team, you get points for Success Club and all that good stuff. But definitely keep putting it out there. Keep putting it in your posts. Show your transformations. Share your stories. We're not salespeople. So you be a product of the product and share your life, and people are going to want to join you because they see what a positive impact and influence it's having on you, and they're going to want that for themselves. that is all of my announcements before we get to Hadley. Does anybody have any questions about any of those? I know I just like went really fast. Anybody? Does anybody have any ideas about the health vet or the yoga retreat or anything? And actually today when I was looking for a picture of the health vet to put on that slide, I did a Google search for it, and I saw a bunch of people had like Facebook events for it already, like that they're trying to get people, involved in. So those are some ideas also, because events kind of, when someone joins an event, it shows up on their timeline so other people can join it. But if you have any ideas, like let's definitely throw those around in the group or wherever so that we can all take full advantage of a free program and a chance to offer a chance for our customers and clients and coaches to win money for being healthy. Pretty cool. Anybody? Alrighty. So who's already signed up for Summit? Who's ready to go to New Orleans? Yeah. Look at that. All right, guys. If you're not signed up, seriously, get signed up and get on the waiting list for hotels. Hopefully things will open up closer to time and we can all get together and be together, because that was a lot of fun. All right. So speaking of coaching, how do we coach and get the best results for our clients? We run really kick-ass challenge groups. And Hadley has been a coach for, what are we at, 8 months now? 8 months. She's a diamond, and she runs incredible challenge groups. Heather's on vacation, so she wasn't able to work on the presentation today. So Hadley has kind of taken that over tonight. Heather will do a talk in the next couple weeks, but she's here, and she's going to be able to provide any input and stuff as well, because she really rocks out in Success Club and challenge groups as well. So Hadley's going to run the conversation. Heather will be there for input, and we'll do questions and answers at the end. But make sure you have your pens and paper ready, because Hadley's got a lot of great information. All right, Hadley, go ahead.
Okay, do you have my presentation? I don't know, can I show it from my side or?
Yeah, look at the bottom and see where it says share screen. Can you share that? If not, I can pull it up.
No, I think I can do it.
Like on the bottom panel, does it say anything?
Yeah, it does. I'm just trying to get, I can't.
Here, I can do it.
I got it.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay, let me see if it'll let me put it in presentation mode. Okay, so challenge groups, I was excited to get to talk about, because challenge groups are literally the thing that got me to decide to become a coach. I kind of thought that it was just about selling stuff, and I wasn't really into that. And it was like a week into actually trying one of Brooke's challenge groups, and I was like, oh, this is what it's all about. I love this. I want to do it. So challenge groups are really, this is what makes us different, right, than Rodan and Fields people or all the other, direct marketing sales stuff out there. This is what makes us different. This is what makes us coaches and not just salespeople, right? We're not just selling stuff. We're offering a service that can really help people. So if you pour your heart into them and really make the effort to make them great, that's where you're going to end up with dedicated customers, and that's where you're going to get good coaches, right? So selling somebody's 21-day fix isn't going to change their lives, but getting them that program and hooked up with a challenge group, that's what's really going to make a difference to somebody. So that's why I think they're so important. It'll make all the difference in your business, both with your customers and with getting successful coaches on board. So launching a group, filling a group. I feel like I kind of hit the ground running with this, and I feel like I'm at a point where I might need to make some tweaks. But I have full groups every month, so something is going right? So, these are just some of the tips that I've been compiling, and Heather can add anything that she's come up with too. But the key is make sure that you're planning a month ahead, right? You can't let the month sneak up on you. It's like the beginning of August, you already need to be looking out to September, figuring out when you're going to start your group, what your theme is going to be, set a date, and you need to really plot things out so you can schedule when you're going to be posting call to actions, how you're going to, fill that group. You want to plan it out. You can't wait until September 1st and then go, oh shoot, I don't have anybody in a challenge group for this month. It just won't work. So a few things. Call to action posts, right? That's when you're putting something out there on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, source of social media that you're using, and you're inviting people to join you. Make it personal, right? Don't use stock photos of autumn or stuff that says Beachbody all over it, right? Talk about what they're going to get in this group. What's it all about? Use personal experiences, pictures, things like that. But you really want to make them feel like it's something they want to be a part of. You're not just trying to sell them something. The other thing is, I would say, in my experience, I'll do 1 or 2 call to action posts every month and maybe get 1 or 2 new customers from that, right? 1 or 2 new people who respond, comment, or message me privately and are like, hey, I want to do this, and then end up actually joining my group. A majority of my new people every month come from messaging. Just message people, find a hook, find a way to invite them to join your challenge group, right? You obviously can't message somebody and say, hey, it looks like you maybe have 10 pounds to lose. Do you want to do this group that I'm doing? But find a way that you can invite them. One of the things that's been working for me this summer is I've kind of geared my groups towards moms or women who are really busy over the summer, especially with kids home from school, don't have time to be getting to the gym. And so I use that. I say, I'm kind of highlighting some of the really short programs, 22-minute hardcore, 21-day fix. Great for moms who don't have a lot of time. You can fit in 30 minutes in your day. I know you fall into that category because you've got 3 kids or whatever, so I just thought I'd see if it's something you're interested in. That's how I end up finding most of the people for my group. But I think it's also important that you track the people that you speak with, right? You can't just message a bunch of people and you hear back from some and you don't hear back from others and you just kind of let it go. You need to track it, because if you're talking to somebody and then they're interested in 21-day fix or insanity or whatever it is and they end up not doing it, you're going to want to keep that in mind down the road. Ask your current challengers for referrals. In your current challenge group, towards the middle of the month, ask people if they have any friends that want to participate next month and offer prizes. So I will tell my current challenge group, and I have a lot of people that come back every month and they're really loyal. So they've been doing my group for a while, and there's some of them that every month will refer someone new. And so I offer prizes. I'll give a free 3-day refresh or something, maybe not that big, but I have some people who have referred a bunch, and so I might give them a big prize. When I post a call to action, I share that to my challenge group page, and I tell everybody in my current challenge group, it's that time of month, I'm gearing up for next month. Please, if you want to keep going next month, that's great. Head over to my timeline and comment there, because then that gets all of them going over to my timeline, commenting on my call to action, saying, I'm in, and then it is, bouncing up to the top of people's news feeds, and more people are seeing it, and it gets a little more traction. Run a free group every now and then. It draws new people in, and then you get a chance to try and, convert. Can you guys see me? I lost it for a minute. So what happened? So you run a free group, like a Shakeology group or a clean eating group, and then it gives people a chance to kind of see what it's all about, and then you can start talking to them at the end about, well, I'm running this group starting September 1st or whenever, and you can try to get people that way. the reason I think it's important to track the people that you're speaking with, because every month when we have these challenge pack promotions that come out, you can use those to drive interest, right? So if you go back and you see, okay, well, this month, Hammer and Chisel or 21 Day Fix or Country Heat, whatever is on promo and is the challenge pack that's $140, you can go back to all the people you've talked to who expressed interest in that program and tell them, hey, look, this is on sale this month. It's a great time to try it. One of the things I wanted to talk about a little bit, especially given, you know, Brooke mentioned the Beachbody Health Bet that they announced at Summit and everything, talking about using Facebook to run your challenge groups versus the challenge tracker app that's available, you know, through the back office and as an app. And I have used them both now. I've run a group through the Challenge Tracker app, and so I have some pros and cons that I can share with you, some little issues, and I share these. I'm not adverse to change, and I think this is probably the direction that we're headed, but I think there are still probably some glitches that they're trying to work out with the Challenge Tracker app, and I know they've made a few changes recently, but I don't think they're anything like to write home about. But this is just some of the stuff that I found. So with Facebook, running it through Facebook, the way most of us are probably doing it, you have the ability to schedule your posts in advance, like through Buffer or some other, you know, website like that. You're not having to manage multiple apps or platforms, right? We're all on Facebook all day anyways. It's right there. People are already familiar with it and how to work with it. You can have unlimited attachments and files allowed, right? So when I set up my groups every month, I put meal plans out there and recipes and tips and tools, and I load up the documents. And then I refer my challengers to it so they can, you know, get stuff as they need it. In the Challenge Tracker app, unless something has changed, you can only have 10 attachments out there, which is really kind of cumbersome. And they all have to be PDFs. So you have to like convert every document into a PDF and then post it, and you can only have 10. So just one little glitch. And obviously, you know, it's mobile friendly as coaches, Facebook, you know, we're doing it from our phone and stuff all day. The Challenge Tracker app, not so much. I found that really as a coach, you have to do most of your work from the desktop version. It is, so talking about the app itself, it's easier to track and analyze challengers' habits if they're using it correctly. They're logging their Shakeology every day. They're logging their workout. You can run sort of analytics on who's doing what, who's slacking, you know, like who to reach out to. And you can also, you know, your groups can participate in the health bet that way. You have to use the Challenge Tracker app in order to participate in the Beachbody Health bet. And I think one of the nice things about it is that it sort of separates your challenge group from the standard noise of Facebook, right? They're using something different. You know, they have an app on their phone, and the challenge group stuff is different. It's just not, you know, another 100 notifications they're getting on Facebook every day. The next slide just kind of shows you how you get to that, right? So in your back office, if you go to under sales and marketing, there's a tab for challenge group tools, and right here you can see my challenge tracker, and you can visit the coach portal, which is where you as a coach set up your group, get all the people loaded, get all the sort of logistics put in place, and then it gives instructions for your challengers to actually download the app. And this is kind of what it looks like on the inside, right? Private challenge group. You create the group, you add your participants, you send invitations to them, you add your files. You can see, like, I had 10 here because I had it maxed out, but I had to go in every week and like swap out files. And then there's a group feed, kind of like Facebook. And then down here, the video tutorials, I just recommend if you're going to try it that you check these out, because they are, it's helpful to kind of show you how the coach portal works and the app for your customers. Okay, so running a group. Some of the things that I've kind of discovered over the last couple months, to get people in your group, really make sure you're taking the time to understand your challengers and what their goals are before you get them started, right? It's not just about selling a challenge pack. Make sure they have the right program, you know, if they have any injury, you know, any injuries or limitations or whatever, so you feel confident that they're doing the program that's going to be right for them. Get your group all set up, start posting it the week before to get everyone excited, you know, talk about meal plans and recipes and cleaning out their fridge and all that fun stuff, so they really understand the process and know that it's going to be like on day one, it's going to be a big change. There's all kinds of tools in the back office, and I'll show you a screenshot of that you can use. And there's some really great ones out there. There's a challenge group guide for every single program, and there's also like a multi-program one that I've been using that's really good, but just make it your own, right? Some of it sounds pretty salesy. I don't put like all the Shakeology ads kind of things in. I have a lot of my own content that I've been developing, and I just save it all and keep track of it and just kind of rotate stuff in and out every month. Be consistent, but don't be a robot, right? If you're using Buffer, I use Buffer, and I load up my whole month at the beginning, and I have it posting every day. But make sure you're still in there like a live person every day, right? You're not just Buffer is not just posting your daily posts and that's all you're doing. Be commenting and responding to comments frequently. People love getting cheered on. They're commenting and they're saying stuff in the group they're posting because they're excited about what they're doing, and they really appreciate it when it's noticed and you're answering their questions and encouraging them and all of that. So in addition to your coaching posts, right, be a challenger. Make sure that you're doing your workout. You're telling them, you're, putting pictures of sweaty selfies and your Shakeology and all of that. And like I said, make sure you're visible in there every day. Recognize your challengers constantly. Prizes, shout outs, challengers of the week is one that I've been doing. But they love that recognition, especially for challengers that are kind of going above and beyond and really doing an awesome job. Make sure they know that, and it'll just encourage them even more if you're giving them those shout outs. And find a system that works for you. Don't be afraid to customize things. You don't have to do it exactly like everyone else. And my example there is I don't use points in my challenge groups. And I know a lot of people do, and it works really well, but the first couple of times I tried it, I could just get the sense that it didn't work for the group of people I had. That's not what was motivating them, and if anything, it was kind of annoying them. They weren't feeling it. So I stopped it, and it's been great. And I find other ways to recognize them. I have a challenger of the week. I get random prizes for things, but it's working for us right now. Try new things. We've all seen each other do the plank competitions or Flex Friday competitions. Sometimes I do bonus workouts, like videos for like butts and guts kind of workout that I'll do at the beginning of the week and challenge people to do as many reps as they can. You can do live workouts, schedule a live workout, pick a new program so people can see it, and do a live workout in the group. Pick a time like 6 a.m. on Wednesday morning, and whoever's up gets on and does the live workout with you. No Sugar Sunday was one that I heard at Summit. I think it was just, put a challenge out there for everybody to skip sugar for one day. Little things like that, but it just kind of keeps it interesting. Check in with challengers that aren't participating. I try to reach out to 3 challengers every day. And not just the ones that aren't participating, but even the ones that are, just to see if they need anything from me, if everything's really going well, are they having any issues. And then at the end of the group, the last couple of days, I ask for suggestions and feedback and what can I do better? What could I do to make this more effective? And be willing to accept that feedback, right? I've gotten some good feedback, but I've also gotten some constructive criticism, and it's been good because I can incorporate it, but you just have to be willing to accept that. Track your groups, keep track of the people in your groups. I have a running spreadsheet, for every month with a list of everybody that's in my group. Keep track of what works, doesn't work. Create templates so you have them for the future, like all the posts that you've used. I also have a running document where I track all of the positive feedback and comments that I get from challengers. So like I just did a Transformation Tuesday post right before this where I talk about, you know, transformations that my challengers have had. And I went to that document and pulled a bunch of comments that people had left over the months. So I think now I'm going to see if Heather, we had talked about her, you know, jumping in here with any of her best practices, anything she wants to add, you know, what works for her challenge groups. And then she can talk about this next topic, kind of what to do when your group goes dead, because we've all had that happen. Heather, are you on? Can you hear us?
I am on. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Hadley, that was awesome. You've got a lot of great ideas, and I have this whole page of notes in red.
Oh, thanks.
I did. There was one thing that I thought of. Oh, when you said your live videos, I like to do, like you said, you like to do the live workout once a week. And I like to do live videos in my challenge groups as well. Like not just for workouts, but like meal prepping. I don't do the whole thing because that can be boring watching me chop vegetables. But like once I'm done at the end, like today I did in my challenge group that even though I'm on vacation, I'm at my parents' house. We're here for the county fair. All the food is terrible. So I went to the grocery store, got a bunch of fruits and vegetables, and prepped baggies for my kids and for my parents so that they can grab that going out the door rather than eating the nasty fair food. Not that it's nasty, it tastes delicious, but it just, you know, is not the best for us. So yeah, I really like that idea. But yeah, as far as like what to do when a group falls short, like Hadley was saying, you know, ask engaging questions, do prizes, do smaller little challenges. You can do a plank challenge, like she said. It's hard for me to see the slide because I'm on my phone, but yeah, just, you know, to get the energy and get the enthusiasm going. I definitely make sure that I comment on everything that everyone posts. Like she said, you don't want to be a robot. So if somebody posts in the group like, woohoo, I lost 5 pounds this week, I'm so excited, make sure you're commenting on that. Don't leave that person hanging because that's what they sign up for. They sign up for you to be their coach more than they sign up for the 21-day fix. So they want you to coach them. They want you to recognize that, you know, and just to be their cheerleader. So, and then, you know, message individuals, and you know, I've been doing this with mine this month. I've been doing it a little bit more than I have been. Just message each individual participant, ask them how they're doing. If they're not doing well, ask them, you know, what caused them to fall off and what can you do to help keep them accountable. You know, just don't give up. Like every group has its own personality. Like all of my challenge groups aren't awesome every single month. Some months they're just dead and there's nothing that you can do to pick them back up. But if you're not trying, then you're not doing your job. Like this is our job as coaches, is to help these people get their goals. So the point system, like she said, doesn't work for everybody. I've had really big success with it. I buy the prizes on the summer sale that are like pull programs. Like P90X was on sale last summer. So I've been giving away, you know, things like that for prizes that didn't cost a whole lot because they were on sale. But, you know, just make people feel special and make a big deal of it. I really, really liked your Challenger of the Week idea. That's really awesome. And do you want me to go over the next slide, or you got that one?
Either way is fine. Let me just share it. I like your point, Heather, about, you know, they're signing up for you as a coach, not just for the 21-day fix, because otherwise they could just buy it from Beachbody and, you know, we wouldn't be in the mix. So really showing them that you're excited when they have those little successes, and especially things like non-scale victories and stuff like that, getting excited. And when you get excited about it and comment, then the other challengers do too, and it makes them feel even better. So I love seeing that when the group kind of comes together and they start supporting each other. There's nothing worse than like having a group where you're commenting on everything, but nobody is interacting with each other than that, you know?
Right. And I forgot to mention that, like, I usually don't have coaches in my groups, like my personally sponsored coaches, unless they have challengers to add, because then it just kind of like floods your, you know, of course your coaches want to be the best challengers, so they're commenting and posting all the time. But if that's the only people that are posting, then your challengers kind of get intimidated because they know these people are coaches. But I do have, you know, sometimes if one of my PS coaches, they don't have a whole lot of challengers, I will add a few coaches in there just for a buffer, you know, just to kind of like get the challenge group moving. And that seems to help sometimes too. And my kids just got back from the fair. So, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no. Let's see. So the last slide is really just, sorry, my computer keeps freezing. Just to show you where, if you haven't seen them before, where the Coach Online Office tools are for challenge groups, right? So if you're in your online office and you go to Sales and Marketing and Challenge Group Tools, under Challenge Group Guides, you will see this grid, right? And this has been updated recently, and it's so much nicer. But there is literally a challenge group guide for every single program out there, including things like the 3-day refresh and, you know, all of this stuff. And you can't see it in this list, but there's also a multi-program guide. And I will say just the way it has worked, all of my groups have been multi-program groups, right? I have people, like I have such a wide range of people and fitness levels and ages and abilities. I haven't had any groups where I've been like, okay, this is just 21-day fix or just whatever. So for the first couple of months, I was using like my own content, but this multi-program guide is fantastic. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. So I draw from that. I draw from like the templates that I've been creating. And that way too, I can sort of, between the two of those, I can make it a little bit different every month because I do have a lot of people that repeat. So I'm always looking for ways to keep it fresh and exciting, so that the people that are coming back aren't like, okay, you know, oh, it's the first Tuesday, she's posting that again. So I think that's just about everything. I don't know if there are questions we can take, if you have anything else to add, Heather, or Brooke, if you have anything you want to reiterate.
Of course. Do you want to share your screen so everybody can kind of see each other? So I love what you said about planning ahead, and this is so important, you guys, for everything in your business. So what I would encourage you to do is to sit down and think about the month, right? So if you look at the month, there's like 4 weeks, and think about and, you know, get into a system. That makes it easier. It takes the guesswork out. So for me, I run my challenge groups the first Monday of every month. So then, you know, the next week I'm going to talk about coaching, because then I'm probably going to run a what is coaching group the next week after that. And then the week after that, I'm going to talk about my awesome results that I just got from my challenge group, or how great my challenge group's going, so that when I launch my next one the week later, you know, it kind of just flows and it makes sense, and it helps you with your posts, because you want to post about what you're about to have a call to action for. So I would sit down and write out your next couple months, and write out when you're running what groups, what free groups, because then, like Hadley was saying, it's easier to plan your posts, and you're not like, oh crap, I need to advertise for 4 different things today. So I think if you kind of really plan it out ahead of time, it makes it easier. I love what Heather was saying about adding your coaches to your groups. I know this is really, really hard, you guys, and it's so scary to go out there and run your own challenge groups, but it helps you grow your business so much. The quicker that you can like fly away from the nest and kind of take it over yourself, the better, because like Heather said, they're buying you, not just the program. So they want to hear from you. They don't want to hear from me or Hadley or Heather or whoever. They want to hear from you, and they want to do the challenge group with you. And like Hadley showed you, we have so many resources. And I don't know if you said anything, but in the Goal Digger School Drive, we also have a folder that's all of challenge group templates that you guys are all welcome to use. And on that note, if anybody has any that they've created and want to add them in there for other people to use, I think that would be a great resource, because then we would have a whole bunch and nobody would have to recreate challenge groups, because that's pretty much where all the work comes from. And there's no need to duplicate it. Everybody runs great challenge groups, so we should just be able to reuse those. And then, yeah, starting your own challenge groups ASAP is really, really key. And what Heather said was so true, because the coaches are all in there and fired up because they want their people to be in there and fired up. But if the coaches are the only ones posting, the people get intimidated. So make sure you just kind of think of that. Love the Challenger of the Week. That's a great idea. And then, like Hadley said, it's so important to just be flexible and open to change, because you may have like the most awesome challenge group you've ever had one month, and then the next month, totally different people. They want something totally different. So you have to be able to kind of like figure that out and, you know, give them what they want. That's what they're there for. But otherwise, I thought you guys did awesome. Hadley, you did really, really great. And Heather, I loved all your ideas. I thought that was really, really good. What questions does everybody else have? I think the chat's kind of going off. Hadley, you have a couple questions in there. Do you private message people for feedback, or would you be willing to share your tracking documents?
Yes. Hold on, I'm trying to. You know, what I do is for feedback, I'll post something on one of the last days, like the last weekend usually, and say, you know, talk about sort of how the month has gone and the progress everybody has made, and just say, you know, I want to always be making this better and make sure that I'm doing everything I can to help people. So if you have any feedback for me, I'd love to hear what, you know, I could do to make this better. And obviously, like, you don't have to share it here, but I would, you know, if you think of anything, I would love to have you message me or whatever. And sometimes people do, and mostly they give positive feedback there. But I like to leave that option open, because if people do have suggestions, I want to hear them. My tracking documents, yeah, I'm happy to share them. They're not exciting. I'm just kind of an Excel dork, and I literally have, I just like have a spreadsheet that I keep going, where every time I message somebody, I drop their name in and like what the outcome was. And same thing for my challenge groups. I just have a big spreadsheet with a different, you know, a different tab, a different worksheet for every month. So it's like February, March, April, and then a list of all the people that are in it. And then I'll just put in for easy access, like what program they're using and whatever. And then the other thing I do, just to add, is I have, this is not like super exciting, but I have this, I don't know if you can see it, a calendar that I keep in a sleeve on one side, and I write down every time somebody buys a challenge pack, because one of the things that has worked for me with Hitting Success Club is that, you know, people are really interested, they're super into it, they're gonna do it, and then I send them the link, right? And then I get crickets. And I've discovered that what it is most of the time is that they go to the link and they see, oh, I get this, and then I have to pay, then I get Shakeology every month automatically, and then I have this on-demand thing that I have to pay for after a month, and it kind of turns people off. So I kind of preemptively tell them, you know, when you go to the link, you're going to see this. Like, I don't want that to be a turn-off to you. I have a calendar and I track everybody's dates, and I don't let my customers get charged for anything that they don't want to be charged for. So I literally track everybody's dates when they ordered, and I touch base with them, you know, before the month is up. And if they want to cancel, then that's fine. A lot of times they don't. They're like, oh, I'm only going to do this for 1 month. But then the month rolls around and they're like, oh, I think I want 1 more month of Shakeology. So it's not very scientific, but that's how I track it. And then on the other side, I have my like power hour checklist, so I can go through with a, you know, dry erase marker every day and check out what I'm doing.
So Hadley and Heather, Pauline just asked a question, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. She said, what is the least number of challengers you've had and what is the largest? And I think some people are kind of turned away from hosting their own because they don't think they have enough people. So what is your take on that?
So far, I've consistently had about 30, I feel like it's been right around like 30, 35 every month. And again, a lot of those are the same people that are coming back, but then every month some new cycle in, some old cycle out. And it's been a very manageable number. Actually, I think my first month I had like 15, and when it jumped up to like 30, 35, I was super nervous because I was like, oh, that's going to be too many. But then you get going, and like most of those people, you know, a lot of them don't participate. So it ends up working out. But I think having a small number is a great way to start out. You know, you might really have to work with them to make sure they're participating, but you kind of know what to do. You know, you've got the tips, you've got the tools. I think it could be really intimate and they could get a lot out of it. So I wouldn't shy away from doing one just because you're going to have a small number. Heather, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, my smallest has been like right around at 5 or 6 too. And I mean, I don't think they get any less from it by being a small group. If anything, I think they get more from it because like each person feels that like they need to participate. And I mean, as a coach, it's a lot easier to follow up with 5 or 6 people than it is 30 or 75 people. So I don't let a whole lot of repeat people come in, especially if they didn't participate in the first one, because I have an ongoing accountability group, and I put all of my challengers in that group every month, and then all of my coaches kind of keep that going. I post in there also, but my coaches do an awesome job at keeping that group moving. And that group, I think, has like 75 people in it right now, but that's like an ongoing accountability group. So I've found that helps too.
So Megan, I just saw your question about how do you tell somebody no if they didn't participate. And so I love what you were talking about, Heather, because I'm working to transition to that model because I'm at the point where like a lot of these people need to retire from my group and move on. And so I don't want to make them do that until I have sort of a new home for them. So I'm working on setting up an ongoing accountability group. And so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to tell them no, right? Because I have people who are like, I'm never leaving. I want to do this every month forever. And I'm like, okay, well, I think it's time to move on. So Megan, honestly, what I'm just going to do is I think I'm going to come up with some like, okay, from this point on, I've got this group now, so you can participate for like 2 or 3 months in a row, but then you kind of move on to this, you know, ongoing accountability group. So it's not like I'm telling them no, it'll just be like, well, this is where you go after 1 or 2 months here. I don't know. How do you do that, Heather?
I kind of just, at this point, I tell them that my challenge groups are designed for new clients so that they can get the attention that they need and they can learn how to do the program. And you're already doing awesome with this program, and I'm going to move you over to the accountability group where I think you'll be more comfortable with girls that have done this group, you know, several times, or done the program several times, or other programs several times. If it was somebody that didn't participate at all, and they said, you know, sorry, I kind of fell off and I'd really like to be in your next challenge group, then I don't see a reason to tell them no. I would, you know, let them in the next challenge group.
And Pauline just asked about free groups, doing it every month. I think it's great to do it every month. I haven't been just because I feel like I've been running out of time, but I feel like whenever I need a boost, like I'm having a hard time getting new people or whatever, that seems to do the trick. Like a free clean eating group, you know, I tend to get a lot of people out of. I'm trying something new right now with like a group that's for parents and kids, getting kids to eat more fruits and veggies. And I don't really know how that's going to work with converting people, but we'll see. It was just something new to try. But I think it's a good idea to do it every month when we can.
Yeah.
Keeps them
Free
going.
group templates back in the Gold Diggers Google Drive too. So I mean, if you have Buffer, it's pretty easy to set it up. All sorts of clean eating or Fitbit or whatever. More questions about your accountability group, Heather. How active are you in it, and how often do you post in there?
So I don't necessarily post in it daily. I try to, but I don't always get into it. But I have like 4 of my top coaches that post daily in there, and they each have like a different task. Like one girl, she posts an inspirational quote every single morning. And then I have someone else that posts like a Shakeology recipe. And then someone else will post lunch or dinner. So it's like a variety of everything. And then like I try, you know, I've asked my coaches to post sweaty selfies in there as often as possible, you know, or if I see them post somewhere else, you know, I send them a message and be like, hey, post that in our accountability group too. So it's a lot easier when you can get a team to help with that accountability group than to run it yourself, because a lot of times you're running a challenge group and sometimes you're also running a free group. So I like to get my team involved in that too. And then when it's time for them to run their own challenge groups, they've already been helping me with my accountability group or our accountability group, and then they're ready to, you know, leave the nest too.
So Heather, that's what I was just thinking when you said that so your coaches help you with it, but they also put their own people in it too. You use it as kind of like a community accountability group for people on your team? Like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I call it Fit and Focused Family. So it's like all of my coaches and their coaches and all of their clients, we're all in that group together.
Oh, awesome. Okay, I like that.
So every challenger we've ever had, we put into that group. And we announce them like at the end of their challenge group. We will put them in there and say, welcome to, you know, so-and-so and so-and-so. They just left this challenge group and they're ready to join our accountability family, or, you know, something like that.
Great questions, you guys. Anybody have anything else?
I have a question. Hi, Brooke.
Hi.
So my biggest struggle is getting all, one of my challengers calls them stalkers, the ones that look at all the posts and show nothing, no support, no comment back, nothing, which, you know, it's kind of hard because I'm really, really good about pumping everybody up and making sure that I'm commenting on every single thing. But if somebody's sharing something that's really dear to them, you know, how it used to be really difficult for them to go up and down the stairs to do their laundry, and now, you know, they're done now, or they fell off the wagon, they didn't participate last challenge group, and now they're back on and they shared, you know, where they're starting and blah, blah, and they get just me commenting. So I don't know how to approach that, how to get, you know, to get out there like this is something that's important that we all acknowledge each other. If somebody posts this and you're seeing it, please at least, you know, like it or something like that. So I don't know how you guys, anyone, tips, anything?
So with my challenge groups, I'll just say that, but that also happens in Gold Diggers, right? I see all of you guys seeing stuff and we don't always get a like or a comment. So it's hard, like with new coaches. So it's kind of hard to get that across, but in a challenge group, I always do like a live video or something at the beginning and pump them up and get them excited about the group and tell them that, you know, like kind of set the expectation and be like, you know, this group's not going to work unless everybody does it together. You know, I'm not the one that's going to inspire everybody. Other people, you know, you might be inspiring somebody, you have no idea. It's really important that everybody posts and participates every single day. That's part of why you're in here, you know, and really set the expectation. And then if people aren't posting and someone posted something like that, I would private message probably like 5 or 6 people and be like, hey, can you go post on that and make her feel really warm and fuzzy about it? I would just reach out to people and ask them specifically to go do it.
Thank you, that's great.
Does that work? And on that note, make sure you comment on everything Gold Diggers, people. Nancy says she calls them out for not posting. How does that work, Nancy? Do people notice and they turn around and start doing it?
Yeah, I'll just post like a general. I don't call anybody out by name, but I'll do a hey, I see only a few people are posting regularly, and I want to hear from everybody. And so I try to be. It's like almost like being a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Let's get everybody posting. I want to hear how this is going, or that is going, or whatever it is that I'm asking for that day. And that generally gets people started again, and I kind of have to do that a couple times during the challenge group because it kind of like ebbs and flows. It peaks and valleys, and it goes, they post, and then they stop posting. And then I'll do another one, and they'll start posting again, and I notice it starts to slack off. And I go, hey, I'm still here, and I'm still noticing. So it kind of keeps people in the, it just keeps them revved up and keeps them going. If I'm saying, I see you. I haven't, just because you're in here doesn't mean I'm ignoring you, or I make sure I post a comment on every post that gets posted, and so they know that I see it, and I'm active in it as well as they are. And if I'm asking them to post whatever, what their challenges are for the day, I make sure I add mine to it also, so that they know that it's still a struggle for me too. And, we're still in the same boat and we're working together. So that kind of, when they realize, oh yeah, she's still in that too, kind of gets them to go, oh, okay, yeah, I'll post my stuff. I'll put it out there. She is too.
That's awesome. Well, Dawn says she says how she's motivated when it starts, how she's motivated by everyone and how she misses their posts. And that's a good idea too. And then they come back.
Yeah. I don't know. I try to be more relatable to them kind of when I say, gosh, I really miss seeing you guys post. I missed my workout yesterday, and I think it's because I'm not seeing as much here, or, something kind of like that. Like, I really feed off of y'all's energy, just like you feed off of mine. So if you guys help each other, this works a lot better. And it's worked to boost it up sometimes, but last month was kind of the lowest decline I'd seen. So when I did that, it boosted it up a little bit.
Awesome. All right, guys. Okay, you need to go to bed, darling. You're 3.
I also get the most participation when I'm doing some kind of points. And this time I kind of am doing a semi-points system. And so I'm not posting a points value every single day, because I want people to keep checking in. I want them to see what's going on. And I've noticed that's kind of just so I've got, mediocre results from it. So I'm going to post more points every single day to try to get, because I know people like to win stuff. So So I'm going to do a points thing every single day to get people active in it.
Awesome.
And that really helps.
Awesome. Well, I think this was a really good call, you guys, and a lot of our best coaches are going to come from challenge groups. So make sure we're hitting Success Club, get the people in the challenge group, and then you're coaching them and making sure that they're getting those results, whatever, best fits them and what they need. And great job, Hadley and Heather. That was really, really awesome information as well. So yay. So any last questions before we get off? I know it's getting kind of late. Anyone? All right. And Courtney, I'll talk to you in 3 minutes. All right. Bye, guys.